and welcome to
Quadball Fantasy,
the podcast that brings you closer to the most exciting and friendly quadball competitions across the globe. Whether you're a seasoned player or a curious newcomer, whether you're looking to play or to volunteer, join us as we dive into the heart of quadball communities and hear about regional teams' effort to provide entertaining gatherings where the gameplay matters and so does the social. Let's get started. My name is Camila and I will be your host today. In today's episode, we will be covering one of the first fantasy tournaments in the calendar, the League of Verona, also known as the LoVER Cup. Hello and welcome everyone to the very first episode of Quadball Fantasy. Today I have a very special guest with me. Here is Tommaso, one of the committee members and directors of the LoVER Cup in Verona. Hello, Tommaso.
Hello to everyone. Hi Camila, thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. I am very excited to hear that LoVER Cup is coming for a second edition, and I wanted to get the scoop on it. The idea of this podcast, the Quadball Fantasy, is that we highlight all the different fantasy tournaments and other small tournaments happening around so that in the future more people know about them and perhaps join them. And I think LoVER Cup has a very interesting twist. How did you come up with the idea for the tournament?
So for the year, the tournament was something that was bothering about some of the player. Exactly when we were leaving from another fantasy tournament that happened in Bologna. A lot of people, I think, know about the GOB, the Garden of Bologna. That's another things that usually come up in the end of the middle of September. We were going off from the tournament and we were in the car so excited about the matches that we had and all the stuff that we had. And some of the players were totally like, guys, we have to do something like that. We have to try to understand if in our city in Verona it's possible to have a competition like that. Maybe there's going to be a lot of things similar, maybe a lot of things different, but let's try it. And what can be the name of the tournament? Immediately, one of our player came with the idea there should be a League of Verona, so a LoVER. And that was the idea immediately for the tournament. We were like, I was driving. I remember that I almost take the car off and say, yes, we have to do. I wanted to stop the car for just a block and say, yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. We have to do something like this. And we understand that it was something immediately near the Valentine's Day because of the name League of Verona and because of we watch the peculiarity of our city. And maybe one of the best things is that Verona is represented usually with the story of Romeo and Juliet, of course. So what about having a team fantasy tournament with the theme of love?
Wow, that story sounds fantastic. So nice how you came up with the idea and right away all your team acted on it and made it happen. I remember seeing the post about the tournament on Facebook. I was still in Argentina when I saw them for the first time and I was so excited. So tell me a little bit more. I didn't get to attend the very first edition. But I saw that you had many teams. How was it?
We usually collaborate with the sport association in Verona that is called Cus Verona. It's a sport association for the university, and that also guarantee us a sports center for having our traineeship and some tournament. So that the main idea was to play there. And it's a really good space with a lot of possibility to have some quality games. So we were totally like, yeah, let's have a tournament there. Let's find out how many players are gonna try to be there. And we were proposing last year a 6th team tournament. The idea of the tournament was really easy, for being honest. Like we weren't focusing on something particular about the gameplay himself. Like I know perfectly that some fantasy tournament came with the idea with this special powers that maybe sometimes during the match you can activate, or other stuff that can happen and modify the game. We were totally for this tournament like a classic quadball game, but we were watching with some kind of peculiarity of the team itself, and with some kind of strange things happening for some referee. One of the main things was, of course, the snitch. In our game, there should be a story, a line that would like Romeo and Julieta find out that we needed to re-evocate the love in the city of Verona. So what about re-evocated with the most things in love, the most wonderful things to do? A quadball tournament, of course. Let's make a quadball tournament, and who can be invited? Oh, let's invite all the couple or the lovers of this history, of the literature, of the art, of the myth, and of the stuff. So we came up with the idea of every team, and that was our idea to a tournament with 6 teams, in which every team have to fight with the others 5, so 5 matches for every team, for getting in the end the one that for that specific year would have been the true representative of love.
What a
That's it.
lovely story. I'm a fan. So, if we can go over the names of the teams real quick, in
Yes,
English
we
maybe?
catalanize every name, but a lot of them that can be immediately imagined in every language. They are really strong and famous love story, and we tried to have every kind of love, also because of course our quadball, we know perfectly everyone is a sport that admits every gender and every kind of love. So we were trying to be in purpose different with everything. So we tried the impossible love, the love that makes the other suffer, the love that is something prohibited, or even the love peculiar. So we had the team that was Tristan Isotta.
Yes.
Yeah, and there was Antonio and Cleopatra. There was Achille and Patroclo.
Yes.
Paolo and Francesca, of course, referring for Italian Dante history. Uh, we were so happy also to put Sappho, the Greek poetry, with
And her lovers.
her lovers. And we came up with a totally different idea for another kind of love, Narciso and himself, of course.
I was very impressed with the designs. Your designer is really talented. I love how Narciso is with their own reflection on the
Mhm.
on the lovers.
I
It's
have to
interesting.
thank you for so very much. One of our historic player is Maria Chiara Bertoldo, that is from us from the beginning of Hydras. And for being honest, she's kind of into art, so she was also so happy to made it. It was a really good work. We were so happy about it. Like we wanted rosone is the typical glass things that is in the middle of the church. We were exactly that style, and we
Yes.
were so happy about finding out that maybe for our tournament, as I told you before, the snitch should be really different things. So we came with the idea the snitch is not the snitch, is Cupid. Okay,
That's
so
amazing.
of course Cupid is pink, so let's remove the yellow stuff from the snitch and put it instead of on the team. I don't know if it was the first yellow team in a fantasy tournament, but yeah, we came up with the idea of removing the yellow from the snitch. It was a pink snitch with some red hearts on his body.
All right, I'm gonna share here the picture for the audience viewing this. It's very, very cute. I think it's a very new twist. No other tournament that I've seen has a snitch looking as nice in pink. Shout out for Maria Chiara because her designs are really top notch. If she's listening to this, I'm a fan. And yes, the stained glass style, like you said, it looks like it could be an image in the church. It makes the whole loving scene of all the characters represented to look very endearing. So yes, I really love how you crafted all these stories of each of the teams and the icons, and still kept the very classic. We're going to play quad ball, the same rules that we play. That's a very nice thing.
We were also in love of the style of our jersey in the end, that we managed to not change in the team and the jersey in the second edition that is coming.
Oh,
But
great.
we were trying instead to imagine if it was possible, still thinking about it, but we are almost there, to put like a signal, like a second edition or something like this around the jersey, or even just to put a recognizable patch on the jersey of the team that last year won the tournament, Patroclo and Achille. So maybe that's it. We'll find in the weeks that are coming.
All right, I'm very excited to see how it turns out. Accommodation situation. I believe that you have prepared some options for people who want to go to hotels, and there was also some option to stay at the club themselves. Can you tell me a
So
little?
let's put the things evidence. I am also a worker for the Cus Verona, so I'm the director of the sports center exactly. So with something working on, we managed to have the possibility to have some accommodation exactly in the sports center for the ones that would be cool to have a tent there. Of course, we ask also to bring the tent, and we're going to have that kind of possibility for free. In the same time, yeah, we suggest some kind of near hotel or placement, some apartment rooms. We managed to understand that sometimes for not spending too much, even the players wanted to have a really long road. But I don't know if that's gonna be the things on this year. We propose something a bit near the sports center, so it's gonna be not so much time for going there. Of course, the one in the tent is gonna be there instead for the night, and it's gonna be possibility for the Wednesday, the Friday, sorry, when the tournament is gonna be beginning in Saturday, and also the possibility to have the night of Sunday, because of course some of them maybe can end the tournament and don't have enough time for returning in their home for Monday and wanted to spend another day maybe visiting the city. Also because during the Valentine's days, yes, our city a bit a transformer. So there are going to be markets in the 10 Valentine's days during in the center of the city. That can be a things for passing sometimes, and of course we are going to have our social on Saturday night.
Wow, this is amazing. So, if people arrive on Friday with their own tent, of course, telling you in advance, they can stay at the club and maybe use the facilities for showering and the toilet over there, and then they can stay until Monday morning, the latest, right? And then there are also some recommended hotels not too far from the venue in case people come without a car and need to use public transportation, correct?
You can find everyone who listening, yes, can find us all these name of the hotels and the contact for them in our social. There is a list in our post that are still available, and I think there are more space if someone still needed to to book his stays.
Great. So February 14th is a Friday. That's St. Valentine's Day. And then the tournament will be on the 15th and the 16th. Do you think the celebrations going around the city are going to be on Friday, or are they going to be, for example, after the tournament?
Oh, it's gonna be like the entire week, for being honest, in our
Oh,
city. Of
wow.
course, there are gonna be some kind of special things during those particular days. I know perfectly, for example, that there is an organization for couples of every possibility in this very center of all the city of Verona, that they organize with some kind of spent participation a toast and a kissing organized for every couple in the same time.
Wow. Is that some Guinness record?
I don't know if it has some Guinness record, but sometimes it's really cool to see. Also, there is a market where the gazebo of the market are gonna be put in line for making a shape of an earth. And some other stuff, like I think there is gonna be some concert around. There are some. I know there are some pizzeria that are making the pizza with the shape of an art. Yeah, those kind of stuff.
Oh my
Anyway,
God, that's very, very cool.
we are really cool with all this stuff. In the same time, it's gonna be some particular day in Italy, because there's gonna be an event that is following in by television in all Italy. That is Sanremo, the main singer contest in Italy, that is gonna choose the singer or the group that is gonna be in the Eurovision Song Contest of this year. So there's a lot of possibility for doing a lot of stuff, and of course we are going to take this possibility for replicate our tournament of singers also in the social. We are going with the Sanre Lover, of course, because there is a Sanremo. So Sanre Lover is gonna be a thing in the social too, another contest with some players that wanted to join us for singing. There's gonna be a jury that in the end validate that person of that group as the most wonderful singer in the Lover.
Wow, that is great. I was just going to ask you what we should expect to happen at the social.
So, a part of this karaoke contest, there's gonna be, of course, the dinner. We managed to understand that probably the main interest should be 10 euros or something like this. We are understanding with the venue that is going to put us uh, the entrance cost. In the cost, of course, the possibility for heating. So probably it's gonna be pizza or something like this, and one drink for free for everyone that enters. Of course, alcoholics or non-alcoholics.
So for about 10 euros entry, participants that come to the social, we get to participate in the singing competition, and then they get food and then one drink.
Yeah, of course, there's gonna be available other drinks, other stuff, and we are going to try to put not so much high cost for everything. Like for example, I think there's gonna be the possibility for having the drinks at 5 and 50 or something like this. So of course, drinks are responsible. Because
Yeah,
the
you have
day
to pay on
after
Sunday too.
the day after we have to pay too. Yeah. One of the other things that we are trying to understand if it's possible available, because this tournament is gonna be with the 4 team, because we are going with less subscription than last year.
Yes,
Uh,
I saw in your socials that you made very balanced teams of 16 players each, and they're going to be four. I really like how it comes out. It's really nice when you go to a fantasy and you have a decent roster. So yeah, I'm
Last
very
year,
excited to
that
see.
was the problem. So we had last year a lot of people subscribe, but for injuries, other stuff happening in the last days, there was some people dropping off. and there was that problem because people were finding in a team with 11, 12 people. So
Right.
just the numbers of the player that you don't want to have for 2 days tournament.
Yeah,
Of
sounds
course,
very tough.
someone improvise itself, like maybe not in the specific rule that they usually do, but that was cool anyway. This year we were trying to have in more sureness about the number of the players in every team. So we chose to have one team less, but there was also some possibility of not enough players coming to join the tournament. So we choose for a four. And what else? Oh, we just simply search for taking off the jersey of the team that was almost with the same color of the other. That's it. So we choose four different colors, and we take out the orange because similar to red, and the blue because it's similar to purple. Another things that we are trying to organize, but still going on, the possibility for a trip in Verona.
Ooh,
So maybe just because they're gonna be four team, the possibility of the tournament ending a bit earlier. So maybe another match fantasy, or the possibility to organize in the center of Verona a really big group going around seeing the city.
wow, that sounds very nice. Is this going to be then before the social on Saturday afternoon?
Still have to thinking about it. Filippo, one of our most important member, are trying to understand what could be put in the middle of the tournament. And so we are just trying to understanding what's the possibility also of the cars of everyone of the team having the possibility to escort everyone to go there.
Wow, this is great. So I understand that by now we already have the teams consolidated. Usually, this tournament, you close the application deadline around December. Is that correct?
Yeah,
So,
there is some time maybe if someone is really in the last days trying to understand if you can come. Of course, now is not gonna be possibility of the jersey. Uh,
yes.
yeah,
Well,
but
maybe when they bring
yeah.
a colored t-shirt. So, if there's somebody who wants to apply as a player or perhaps as a volunteer, who should they contact?
We can be contacted directly in our social,
Okay.
so there is that possibility. There is also in bio of our social the link for the Google module for subscribing. And if something is needed, we so a lot of people have also some numbers of our team players, so that's a thing. So also we have a Telegram group, and that the subscriber can join for every information that is going to be really fast in this way for everyone. And of course, the captains of the team are going to be our referment for sending the message of on everyone. So that's it. For the volunteer, there is a gift also. I didn't
Oh,
remember that. Yeah, last year we had also the possibility to have the shirt of course, a pink shirt for
oh, wow.
the volunteer, and in the back there is written "Lovunteer."
What's the meaning of la volontiers?
Volunteer with the love in the beginning.
Oh, right. Silly me, I didn't figure it out. Love and tear. I love it. I don't know why I was imagining it was some fancy Italian title.
Italian.
All right. So thank you so much for your time today. I think I got the big picture of what this event is about. It sounds very, very exciting. And I do hope that many people outside the region find out about these fun initiatives, and maybe they join you for this edition or upcoming editions in the future. And I would like to thank everybody in your team. You mentioned Filippo, you mentioned Maria Clara, you mentioned Vice,
the
and
main
of course everybody else in
director,
Hydras.
for these years. But everyone have the little part, so thank you for remembering to share. Thank you to everyone in my team. Also, a lot of thanks for the Austrian teams that are joining our tournament in critical mass. This year
Yes.
there are a lot of Austrian people coming.
I saw some names from, I think it's Slovenia as well. It is very international, and maybe from Basque Country or Spain as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of people coming for a lot of time, and of course it's really important to have enough numbers of player coming. I love also fantasy tournament around the world because that's a really good moment for making new friends or finding again some friend that you already have around the world.
That is great. Thank you so much once again for your time. I hope your tournament is once again a big success and everybody goes home full of love.
For the all lovely people, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, and see you in the next episode of Quadball Fantasy. Goodbye.